Girlies, this book has single-handedly picked me out of the reading slump that Dance of Thieves put me in. I DNF'd this halfway through. It was just a little bit too much for me. The writing was dense and the world building felt like I was bombarded with information. Though, I don't feel like this was a bad book. It was just not the right book for me right now. So, as I always do when I hit rock bottom with my reading, I pick up an Ali Hazelwood book. And needless to say, it was the best decision ever. Check and Made by Ali Hazelwood is an absolute 5-star read, and it is her only non-spicy book. So if any of you don't really like spicy books, but you really want to give Ali Hazelwood a try, this is definitely a good pick. It's about a girl that's really good at chess, but because of past trauma, she decided not to go near chess ever again, but her friend signs her up for this charity chess tournament or something, and that's how she meets another chess player who's the #1 in the world. And from then on, I'm just not gonna say anything because you need to discover it on your own, but I really loved this book. Because I am afraid of a reading slump, I'm saying no more. I'm only gonna read books that are certain to be 5-star read. I'm not sure how many books I'm gonna read in this video, but for sure we're gonna read these 3 books. First of all, 5-star vibe. I just know this is going to be such a good book. Everyone has told me that this is a wonderful thriller and that Holly Jackson's writing style is really good. I'm expecting this to be similar to Jennifer Lynn Barnes' writing style, which I thoroughly enjoyed. This is a book I expect to be a 5-star read. Another one will definitely be Saving Six, because you guys have driven me crazy with the request for a reading vlog with this book, so we are definitely going to include this. We also have Villains Are Destined to Die. This book was sent to me as part of book mail, and I was eager to read it then, and I'm even more eager to read it now. You guys have recognized this in my bookshelf and told me that the manhwa for it was wonderful, and I just know I'm gonna love this. This is set in a game, like the girl gets trapped playing the villain in a video game and she needs to seduce some characters in order to go back to her life, basically. And this is the first book we're gonna get into right now. 63 freaking pages for one chapter. I've never encountered this. Now, did I count the pages? Absolutely not, because I was hooked, okay? First, before telling you anything about the book, let me just show you the art, which is absolutely stunning. That's the main character. Also, look at the cover. We have a half cover. It does give off manhwa vibes for sure. I haven't read many of them, but I would love to. I actually recently ordered manga, romance, and I'm so excited. Anyway, besides the point, let us get into the book. First and foremost, the main character is a girl in real life that's been living in not the perfect situation. She's lived with her stepfather, I think, or no, with her father, and she had stepbrothers. Anyway, a really shitty living situation. She managed to move out and started playing this game, right? She actually enjoyed it and fell asleep, and she ended up being the villain in this game. And now she needs to figure out how to raise the affection points for the main characters so that she can go back to her real life. Now, the problem is that she entered the hard mode of the game. Everyone's affection points are either negative or 0. And when it's 0 or negative, she tends to get killed, the villainess. Now, we are seeing the main character trying to figure out how to survive, and all the encounters are really unfair up until she unlocks this secret thingy in which she is able to answer differently to the situation. There's just something about game simulations I love so much. I've watched Sword Art Online and I loved it. It has a similar situation. The main character gets trapped in this video game, and if they die there, they die in real life. I also watched Solo Leveling, which also gives off a little bit of game simulation type vibe. but it's quite different. For some reason, I enjoy that so much. And this is definitely a book I expect to be a 5-star. Now, if you're thinking, oh, the characters will be extremely well developed and well-rounded and the backstory will be immaculate, that's not the case. I would say that this is rather a fun-leaning book, but I don't mind it. I don't want this to be heavy. There are quite a few coincidences which are like a little bit too much, but again, I just like it and I'm going with it, and I feel like this will be a 5-star. Also, oh my god, the graphics, just look at this. I cannot get over this. Let's get back to reading. I did not expect that to happen. So it turns out she is good at raising affection points. I just love the vibe of this book. I don't know, it's so fun and so easy to read. And this is a little bit more political than I thought. You see why the villain has become who she is and why she acted that way. And then you realize that there's just more to the story. I've been reading for about 2 hours and I managed to get to page 110, so roughly 50 pages per hour. The thing is with this book is that it's just so easy to get lost in it. I just want to know what's going to happen. I'm loving it. If a book grips me in this way, regardless if I believe it is exceptionally well written, or if maybe I don't like a few things, like some things don't add up in certain situations, I don't really care, because if I'm just glued to it, then it's definitely a good book, in my opinion. Or a fun book, and that's enough for it to be a 5-star read. I was just about to edit my video when I realized that my camera decided to delete every single video I had on my card. That includes the reading vlog for the second part of Villains Are Destined to Die. So I'll just gonna have to do a recap for you. As you know, the main character has multiple love interests, and she thought 2 of them were the easiest to approach, but throughout the second half of the book, she realizes that maybe those 2 that she thought would be easier are actually more dangerous. 2 of these love interests are her stepbrothers, and one of them is Derek. So honestly, I am rooting for Derek because he had some really sweet moments. Even though he's sort of rude, he sounds as if he's the most mature one, and I am just rooting for him. This cannot be read on its own and have a finality to it. You need to read book 2 because this one literally ends in the middle of the action. I feel like this shouldn't be a sequel. We should just rather have one book that's just bigger. I feel like it's just impossible to rate it without reading the second book. But if you are going to tie my hands and force me to rate book 1, I would rate it a 5-star because it has potential. I was intrigued. I loved the plot, and I just really want to know what's going to happen. I'm not picking up book 2 straight away because I want to read 5 Survive. Our next book is 5 Survive, and this is part of our book club, which you can join through the link in the description. And I basically need to read half of this book by tomorrow. And that's because we are having our Twitch book club live stream tomorrow, and we're discussing the first half of the book. So naturally, I need to read the first half of the book. I kind of postponed it for no particular reason, but that being said, today is a reading day. So that's great. We're gonna relax. We're gonna get into the book and see what's the hype about it, because everyone loves it. It's a thriller in which we have 6 people in an RV that are stuck in the middle of nowhere, and there is someone out there that wants one of them dead. So that's why it's called 5 Survive, not 6, because, well, I suppose one of them is going to die. We don't know who the target is, and we're gonna find out a lot of secrets. Yeah, it sounds interesting, and I am ready to get into it, so let's start. I've been reading for almost 50 minutes and I'm at page 68. So, firstly, the main character is quite weird. Like, I don't understand why she's so forgetful, but I guess we're gonna find that out. So, Red is the main character. She is this girl with a not very great home situation. They don't have a lot of money and she has to take care of the household. And we have these 5 other friends of hers. They're all in this RV going to some place where they meet other friends. Anyway, they got stuck in the middle of nowhere and someone has a gun and starts shooting at their RV. Basically, we don't know anything else, but it's definitely fast-paced. The writing style isn't my favorite up until now, but it doesn't bother me. So I guess it's just getting used to it mostly. Regarding the story, it's definitely fast-paced. I'm really curious to see what's going on. And well, with thrillers, that's the thing. You just start reading and then you're stuck in the story. You just need to find out what's going to happen. Up until now, I am enjoying the book. Literally talking with the sniper through a walkie-talkie. I don't feel like this is a spoiler. If it is, I'm sorry. You should expect to like find out a few things about the book. But again, it won't really affect your experience anyway. It was so unexpected and like, okay, it's getting interesting. Like, what does the sniper actually want? Oliver is clearly a dumbass. The characters are starting to get more and more interesting. Like, I get to know Red, which is the main character, much more, and she knows things, right? But then Arthur is this guy who's a little bit sweeter towards Red, but maybe he's too nice. Maybe he has something to hide. Turns out Maddie is also quite shitty, so both Leroy, whatever their names are, like Oliver and Maddie, they're both quite icky. So they are concocting this really, really intelligent plan, which I seem to not understand. Like, it involves a mirror, but at the same time, I cannot envision what they are thinking about. Like, it makes sense, but then when I'm thinking about the RV, like, it doesn't make any sense. So I guess that's my fault. Maybe I'm just not keeping up. Who knows? Anyway, I still find it very interesting. I'm just imagining that I understand the whole layout. You know, with reading, that just happens sometime. You just need to go with the flow. So the 2 a.m. timestamp marks the middle of the book. I did it. It took me 2 hours and a half, and I managed to read half of the book. Up until now, I can see why everyone loves it. It's very fast-paced, and the writing style, you just get used to it, and it's snappy, and you know, it pulls you into the story. There was one plot twist. I'm expecting this to be a 5-star, actually. Just look at that. It's definitely the perfect time to continue our thriller. I need us to agree we're gonna ignore my background, okay? Because I just really crave reading outside. I just love to listen to the rain sounds and read. So we're gonna be on the balcony today. Also, I just woke up around 30 minutes ago, so I'm gonna be a little bit slow. We have half of the book to go through. Up until now, I really like it, and I hate Oliver with a passion. I don't particularly like Red. We're at the point where something has changed the situation. We have a little bit of a plot twist, and let's see if this is the way they're going to get out of the situation. Convinced that Arthur and Red have no survival instinct. Like, I understand you don't want to implicate anyone else, like put anyone in danger, but at the same time, you need to evaluate the situation and take into consideration that, hey, you will most likely die. So you need to try your best to get help. Honestly, I believe that Oliver's idea isn't that bad. Like, this time, I really thought that was going to go differently. And I don't really know what they're gonna do now. How many plot twists are we going to get in this little tiny book? How many? I'm at page 270, I think. And you gotta read this book to understand what I'm going through. A vote is absolutely cruel first and foremost. Second, what happened after the vote? Like, Oliver has to be put down. Like, by any means necessary, he needs to be stopped. Because, like, the hypocrisy is outrageous. He is the most despicable type of person. He thought he would at least care about his sister, but he clearly doesn't care about anyone apart from him. Girlies, this is exactly why you need to read the thriller from time to time. Like the very last plot twist I just went through, I'm like, okay, how did Holly Jackson think of that? We are at page 350. I have this much to go, and I just know we're gonna get another plot twist. I am getting literal goosebumps. I believe this is quite similar to The Natural, as I've predicted, though this is more thrillery. This is definitely on the more thrillery side. The plot twists are like absolutely crazy, and I loved how Oliver portrayed a certain typology of person when they get under pressure. I love that. Like, every character was different under pressure, and you could definitely see that. I'd say this is on the YA side, but that doesn't make it less interesting. Like, it's absolutely crazy. It's definitely a 5-star read. I don't think I understand why is Red so forgetful. Like, did the author try to convey that she has some sort of, problem? She didn't show anything else apart from the forgetfulness side, and that's not enough for me to like realize what's going on. I'm just confused as to why is she forgetful to this extent and why we are talking about this so much, I'm just a little bit confused as to why. Apart from that, I just love this book and I would definitely recommend it. It's a great YA thriller. I couldn't sleep tonight, right? And I decided to start reading at about 5 a.m. I started reading Saving Sex. Now, reading about Joey as a 12-year-old was so nice. Like, he was so sweet and it was really heartwarming, and I wanted to take that in before we get to the really disturbing part. I'm gonna love this book. I'm already really engaged, and I've read only a few pages. Firstly, the story is so much more darker than the first two books. I expected that, but it's just much more descriptive, and you really understand what was going on because Shannon was a little bit sheltered in a way. Well, sheltered is a big word to use, but Joey was the one who was taking the protective figure. So another thing is that I relate to Joey much more than I did to Shannon. Like, I loved Shannon, but I just relate to Joey and how he's thinking and his logic and his struggles and how he's feeling them and how they affect him. I just relate to that more. Anyway, I'll continue reading and I'll talk to you tomorrow because my boyfriend is sleeping and I don't want to bother him too much. Good morning, girlies. It is 1 p.m. So I kept reading up until 8. I read this much of the book, so around 150 pages. First and foremost, I love Eva with all my freaking heart. She's just so confident, and like, I've never read about a character like that. I love Joey just as much. Also, he's a bad boy. Okay, we have one scene in there. Oh my god, I already know this is going to be a 5-star read. I do not doubt for 1 second that there is something in this book that I won't like. It's a 5-star read. Regarding what is actually happening, we are seeing Joey throughout his first year in middle school, which is about 13 years old, up until the last year I suppose we're gonna get to, when he's 18, or maybe that happens in book 2, I'm not really sure. He is into this girl Aimee, and she is into him, and she's very confident about it, but he steers away from her because he works for her father. He bottles up his feelings for her and turns into this very cold guy, but it just doesn't work with her because she doesn't really care about that. So she forces her presence upon him and he accepts it, right? I just love their dynamic. And we're in the 3rd year right now. So they're about 15. This series is so different than anything else I've ever read. Anyway, I gotta start doing something. So have a nice day. I'm gonna see you perhaps tonight. I decided to do something different and read outside for a change. Now the thing is, there is this guy that's having a fight on the phone. So I'm not sure if you can hear him. That's one thing. Second thing is that it's very windy and I really think it's going to start raining. My content is just not the aesthetic type. It just doesn't work for me. Okay, I'm gonna try my best and read at least for a little bit. Funny enough, it started raining. I managed to read one chapter. I'm not reading outside anytime soon. Yeah, look at the sky. I didn't really think this through. We're definitely heading home because I just heard the thunder, and right now it's not raining that bad, but it's gonna start really soon. They're laughing at me. Girlies, it is the next day. We are gonna read for a bit. Now, if you're wondering, Aimee, why do I see you wearing this t-shirt every time? Well, that's where you're wrong. I am wearing a different t-shirt because I have more of the same t-shirt. I have 3 of those. So these are also my pajamas. That being said, let's get back to reading in my room because apparently reading outside is just not for me. We are at page 160. I can understand a lot of things in this book, but what I can't understand is why is Aoife with that piece of shit? Like, why be with someone in a relationship rather than be alone? Like, it's better to just be alone than be with a person that doesn't respect you and treats you like shit. Like, I understand it's comfortable to a certain extent, but you don't need that. You can just be alone. I don't have a brother or a sister, so maybe I don't know shit, but like, twins should love each other. Like, if you have a twin, there's literally another person that's the same age as you and they share the same, not the same life, but either way, I feel like twins should be really close, and treating each other that way is kind of shitty, but then at the same time, I suppose you would have fights if you have a twin. See where I'm at? I don't really know what I'm talking about, but they're kind of harsh with each other. Damn giggly. Okay, so I literally do not know if there's other author out there that creates these more than human situations. Like, they're really giggly, they're really funny. He's dealing with people that do not care about him, right? And he's snorting stuff, okay? The snorting stuff can be mixed with something else, and then you get yourself a really weird situation like the one he's in right now. And it's really funny. It's also sad, but it's extremely funny. And I just love how Chloe Walsh incorporates those situations in her books. I just read the part with his great-grandparent, and it was heartbreaking. Like, I almost started crying. So that being said, I just love this series. Like, you gotta start reading these books. Like, it's different than any other books I've read. But yeah, I'm not gonna spoil anything. It was just really sweet and also heartbreaking at the same time. I got to page 335, which is a little bit over midway through the book. Aoife started to learn more things about Joey, but I don't think she's nearly close to figuring out his actual life at home. Also, we got to see Joey's view over Shannon's situation and how he tried to help her out. And, you know, you are really understanding why Joey is the way he is. And I just cannot stress enough how much I can, like, relate or connect to this character. I knew this would be a 5-star read after reading book 1. Like, after I read book 1, I just know all of the books in the series will be 5-star reads. Like, yeah, of course, I'm gonna like one more than the other, but they're all 5-star reads. Like, perhaps this might actually be a 6-star read compared to the first 2 books in the series, and that's just because I connect more to these characters. I'd like to post this video today because it's Saturday and I post YouTube videos on Saturday. I'm gonna stop reading Saving Six in this vlog, though you're gonna see my opinion about it when I finish it in this month's wrap-up video, in which I'm gonna talk about everything I've read in the past 3 months or so. You're gonna get my thoughts on the second half of the book, but I've heard that people say it's very sad, and I'm kind of afraid of that. I might cry. I just know whatever happens, this is a 5-star read. I feel like I really managed to read only 5-star books in the series. If you're ever wondering, I don't really like reading lately, like what's going on, I'm in a reading slump. Girl, just pick up books you know you like. Like why do we pick up books that get us in a reading slump? Just put the book down and pick another book up. Like, life is too short to read books you don't like, okay? That being said, this was the video, girlies. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye!